Hello guys, welcome back to Data Foj by Piyush. In our last video, we have taken a tour to a Databricks UI homepage and all these sections available into Databricks workspace. Now we will start creating our first notebook and writing our first code into that notebook. Let's go ahead. So first we will go to this workspace tab here. Once you click on this tab, you will see, so by default it will redirect you to your user workspace or user folder. So this is the user data@gmail.com, and here we are going to create our first notebook. So click on this create. You will find multiple options here. You just need to click on this notebook. That's all. It will create a new notebook for you. By clicking here, you can rename this notebook as per your convenience. So we will write it as a first. This is the UI of your first notebook. So as soon as you create your first notebook and rename this as a first code, your notebook will look like this. So this is your cluster configuration. So as of now, we are using this serverless. So it is showing as a serverless. You can schedule it, comment, share, all of this thing we will learn after starting our code. So guys, we can write our Spark code in any of the language, Python, SQL, Linux, or any R or any other language as well. But how Spark will know that in which language your code is written? For that, we need to explicitly define what is the language of our code by mentioning this percentage start. Percent SQL means you are writing your first code into SQL language. Percent Python means you are writing your first code into Python language. Percent sh means you are writing your first code in your Linux language. So let's start by the SQL language. So this I have defined as a percent SQL. Here I am going to write our first code, which is select current date. I am going to select the current date. Very basic SQL command. I am just testing it. Let's see if it runs or not. Great. This is running. This is giving us the result. So we can see it has given us the current date. Today is 16 July. It has given us the 16 July as a result. That means it understood that we are writing the code in SQL language because we have explicitly defined percent SQL. Now try it in other way. Now try with percent Python. The same line of code I am going to execute with the Python language. Will it support? Let's see. You can see it has thrown one error, invalid syntax. Why? Because we have write our code into SQL language. You can see this is the SQL command, select space current date, right? While we are saying it that this is the Python language. Now Spark is confused and is not able to interpret it that the line of code you have submitted to Spark is either a Python or any other language. That is why it is saying invalid syntax, because in Python this kind of select current date syntax is not defined. So Spark has clearly mentioned that it is an invalid syntax. It is not able to interpret it or find any kind of such command under Python language. Now let's try with the Python code itself. This is the percent Python magic command, and we will write the code into Python. We will write the Python code itself. Okay, so this was the percent SQL, and this is the percent Python, and the command we are writing is the print hello. It has written. We can see it has provided us the correct result hello without any failure of the code. Why? because we have defined this is a Python language code and we are writing the line of code is itself is a Python. No syntax error, no other kind of error. Because Spark has interpreted it very clearly that the code written is in the Python language itself. It executed it successfully. We have seen what is the magic command and what is the use case of this magic command. Now we will move to our next part of this video, writing our first code and understanding the data frames and all. So data frame. What is this data frame? Data frame is basically the collection of data in an organized systematic columnar format, row columnar format. So you can tell it as a table, table in a relational database or in a Python data frame. Now we will move to understand and create our first data frame, which is the bare minimum requirement of writing any Spark code or any Databricks or Apache PySpark code. So before that, we need data where we can work and we can write our code. So we will learn how to create the first data frame. You can see these are the columns I am going to use: ID, name, and email. I'm going to take three columns: ID, name, and email in our data frame. And these all three values. 101 as an ID, Alexa name, and alexa@email.com. So this is the email of this Alexa, same Capian and Glabia. So these are the three peoples having three email IDs. I'm going to create one data frame, one Spark data frame using this data as well as columns. So let's see what are the steps and what are the logic and code to create first data frame. You can create your first data frame by writing this line of code. See, as soon as I started writing writing for creating this data frame, AI and the GenAI capabilities of this database already suggesting me that I can write the code in this way, but I am not going to use it because for learning purpose, each and every word or line of the code you should write it at your own. Then only you will understand what are the problems and what all things or challenges you can face while writing the actual code. So what is the next? Df is equal to the spark dot create data frame. Spark dot create data frame and data column. I'm going to execute this command and let's see the results. Yeah, see, this is succeeded. So finally we have created our first data frame. You can see this by expanding this. We have three columns: ID, name, and email, and this is all string data format. We haven't defined anything, so by default database consider it as a string. So now we are going to create or we are going to display the data frame by using this command display. Let's see how it looks. See, this is running, and yeah, you can see the three columns: ID, name, and email. They are present in this data frame, and exactly the three entries of this data. You can see all of these three entries, whatever we have provided as a data, and three columns are present in our data frame. This is the data frame created, which you can use for your further coding and for your further learning of the coding purpose. So here I'm going to stop for the day. You can go through this video. You can learn creating your first notebook and for writing your first code, as well as you can learn what is this data frame and how to create your first data frame. Once we have created this data frame, we can perform multiple operations on this, like joins, filter, dropping of this any of the row, or conditional applications, grouping, aggregations, all kind of these operations you can perform upon this data frame. So those all the things we are going to cover in our upcoming series.